Okay, hello, welcome back. Like, I'm excited about this part. Threshing. I love threshing because, okay, so before we get to threshing, there was a class I forgot to mention about it. There was a class that they had before threshing with Professor Kaori. It's supposed to prepare them for their first meeting with dragons, how they are supposed to act then, how they are going to know the bond, like how they're going to feel the bond. So the professor taught them the different dens of the dragons that are there. I think there are six dens. There are six: the orange, the black, the blue, the red. Have I mentioned orange? The brown and the green. Yeah, six dens of dragons. And then they have different tails: the sword tail, the morning tail, the dagger tail, the scorpion tail. I think there should be a fifth one. I can't remember. Moving on. So now during the class, the professor was telling them about the different qualities of each dragons, and I mentioned how to approach them. There are some that value you looking down. There are some that want you to approach them from this side, that kind of thing. Now, so when he mentioned the different dens, so he didn't talk about the no. He said he was going to talk about the only black in the veil presently, because just for them to know about black dragons, but the dragon is not available for bonding. Like, he is the second biggest dragon on the continent after the general, their overall the general of their kingdom, General Melgon. He is bonded to a black dragon too. So this other dragon in the veil, Thane, is the second biggest, and he's like the biggest, baddest, that kind of thing. So he projected the image of Thane like fucking big, like they were like fucking big. He's deadly, he's ruthless, he's ferocious. Just think of all those attributes. So when they were now talking, Jack fucking Barlow, he was like, how do we bond that? So the professor was like, you cannot bond it because he's not even available for bonding. Like, why? He said, okay, so he said his last rider died 5 years ago, and since then nobody has even seen him outside of the veil. So his last rider died during the Tyrish rebellion, the one that Zayden's father headed. Yeah, so that was the last time Thane was seen, when his rider died. His rider, Nowlin, died trying to save Brennan, Violet's older brother. Yeah, that was when Nowlin died. I just wanted to quickly put that backstory there. So when Jack was like, how can we bond that? Violet was thinking, this stupid one bonding with this kind of ferocious dragon, God forbid. So she had that thought. So you've gotten the backstory that I wanted to say. Now, threshing. They said October 1st is always threshing. Whether Monday, whether Sunday, whether it is raining, whether it is snowing, it is always threshing day in their kingdom. So Professor Coyote was telling them that they should go into the veil. They are going to feel the bond, like they're going to feel the call of the dragon that has chosen them. Yeah. So they should stop thinking too much about it. You're going to feel the call, and then you're just going to move in that direction. And if your gut is telling you to not go in a particular direction, it is also better for you to not go in that direction, because you don't want to anger the dragon that is not yours, that kind of thing. So she was not thinking that Violet now, she was thinking that at this point her sister Mira already knew she wanted to bond Tiny, but she's not even feeling anything. Like, she doesn't feel any kind of bond with any dragon, so there is no calling. She was just thinking, like, is she going to fail because there is no feelings whatsoever? So Rihanna and her friend was asking her, like, Alpha, like, what's up? What does she feel? She was like, she doesn't know, that she will just go. So Rihanna was not like, okay, she now asked Rihanna that does she have anyone that she has her sight on? So Rihanna was like, yeah, like one of the dragons that sniffed Violet during presentation. So she was like, yeah, that one of those dragons, the one that was closest to her, like that's the one that she wants to bond. That's Rihanna now. She's like, well, good luck. Good luck. So they hugged. Then Riddick hugged them too and like, don't die. So Professor Kaori told them to go separate ways, like they should not go in a group, because if a dragon finds disfavor in one of you, it is not going to ask the one that it doesn't like to move away. It's going to burn all of you. So it's better you go separately and improve your chances of, bonding and all that. So they just went their separate ways. And she had been walking and walking, but there was no feeling, there was no calling. It's just like she was just walking aimlessly. So she was thinking she has seen all the types of dragon, all the dens of dragon, the green, the red, the brown, like she has seen everything, but she didn't feel any kind of she didn't feel anything towards any of them. So she thought, okay, maybe if she climbs one of the trees and she can see, it will also improve her vantage points. So she feels if she climbs and she sees over the whole place, like she might be able to get a feeling and can point her in the direction to go, So she climbed, and when she climbed, she saw dragons, but no feeling. Then she saw like a golden beam, that's feather tail that I mentioned, the golden tail, yeah. So she saw it like it was standing alone in the meadow. So she was like, well, at least, then she thought, the feather tail is still satisfying his curiosity, I see. Well, she just climbed down. So when she climbed down, she just heard voices. So she quickly hid behind the tree, and she had them talking, the voices now. She had this, one of them saying, I saw its head in this direction, like that was the direction that he saw the dragon. And then another, she was like, So another voice was like, I hope you are sure, because he would hate to come all this way just to waste his time instead of him looking for his own dragon. And she was like, So she like snuck out, like just peeped, just to see, to confirm, like, okay, if she's hearing the right person, like if the voice is actually the person she thought. Then she peeped, and then she said that, okay, Jack fucking Barlow. And her squad mate Tinen, and another guy Huren. So they were talking about the golden dragon, and they want to kill the dragon. So they were heading in the direction to kill the dragon. So when they left, it just occurred to her like, okay, wait, they said they were going to kill a dragon, like, they're going to kill a dragon. So she was like, well, the dragon can defend itself. Then she thought, maybe if I warn the dragon, it can fly away. So she thought, okay, let me quickly go and warn the dragon. So she mapped the routes that those three took. Then she was like, she was going to take another shortcut. At least, she saw it when she climbed. So she was like, she can pass this place. So when she was rushing to get to the dragon, she didn't see the falling branch on her way. So she tripped and injured her ankle. So she ended up limping the rest of the way to the clearing. So when she got there, she saw the dragon, the golden dragon, and then she was like, hey, Goldie, shh, like, you need to get out of here, they are coming to kill you. So the dragon looked at her like, she was like, yes, you, I'm talking to you, go away, fly away before they kill you. The dragon just like chopped. She was like, I'm not joking, oh, guy, go. So that was how the dragon didn't go, in short. He didn't fly away. So that was how Jack came, Jack and the other two idiots. So Jack told Jack was telling the dragon like, it is not going to hurt. I promise it's going to be painless. So Violet was like, you know it is against the rule to kill a dragon, right? So that was when Jack noticed and was like, oh, well, one stone, two birds. They can take out the weakest links at the same time. So she was like, like, she's not going to allow them to kill the dragon. So Jack was like, well, he's glad for it, because he has been looking for an opportunity to kill her all this time before. So it's no air off his head. If anything, he welcomes it. So she told them they're going to get through her to kill the dragon. So she placed herself between them and the dragon. So when they wanted to charge, when the three of them wanted to charge her, so she just had a voice say, I will strongly reconsider that option. So they all turned and they saw Zayden leaning against the tree with his own dragon, with his blue dagger tail, Sigil. So Jack was now like, and if they don't reconsider, so Zayden did not say anything. So Jack was like, yeah, he knows there is nothing you can do, because the second year and third year are just to observe. They cannot interfere with threshing. So they can only observe. So Violet was not thinking, fine, she's going to get an audience for her death. Okay, no problem. So when they attacked, she threw her dagger, incapacitating Jack in the shoulder. So his sword fell. His sword arm became useless, literally useless. So the stupid boy fell to his knee, and he was shouting like, she took out my shoulder, like he can't move his arm. So Violet was not like, the thing about living with pain all your life is you know exactly where to eat. So Jack now told them like they should kill her. The stupid coward, he just stood up and he ran away in its ear. Stupid. So he left, remaining Tinin and Oren. So she was like, so much for squad mates, huh? Because normally squad mates are not supposed to fight squad mates, they're not supposed to kill each other. And Tinen is our squad mate. So he was like, you're not my squad mate, like squad mate doesn't matter today. Okay, she was like, okay, fine. So she was fighting the two, that's Oren and Tinen. He caught her arm, but she was able to injure him. Yeah, she injured him. Sorry, I'm not going to go into the details, but she injured him. So when she was talking, like because he insulted her, that kind of, when she got him across his middle. So he insulted her and she was like, so original. So when she was busy with Tinen, Zayden was like, behind you. So she looked back. She saw that Oren was already behind her and he had his sword raised. Like, if Zayden hadn't like warned her like behind you, Oren could have just beheaded her like that. So she turned. When she turned, the golden dragon is also behind her. So the golden dragon like snarled at Oren. So that movement kind of like surprised stupid Oren. Like, it's kind of like made him remember that, okay, it is actually a dragon that is here, even though it is small and it is golden. So during this moment of confusion, she was able to knock him unconscious. Now left with Tinen. So Tinen was not like, you cannot interfere. He was telling Zayden like, you cannot interfere. So Zayden was like, sure, he cannot interfere, but that doesn't mean that he cannot narrate. So her arm is short. Her ankle is already short before she even got to the fighting this thing. So her arm is short, she was already bleeding. So Tina now said, there is nothing you can do, Sorengi, like he already has her. So she was like, So when she tried to flip her dagger, the thing slipped because she was already bleeding. So the dagger slipped from her hand. She was just thinking, okay, fine, this is how I die. So from the corner of her eye, she saw that Zayden moved, like he moved to help her. So she was thinking, this guy is like, he wants to help me again, that kind of thing. So before she could really process that, a gust of wind like slammed into her, and then she fell to her knees. So she saw that Tinin kept looking up and looking up like he was surprised, and then he was looking up and looking up and looking up like for the condition that she was, it was really comical because his head was literally perpendicular to his body. So she said, so she was like, what did this guy see? So she turned back and she saw the black dragon thing behind her. Okay, she was like, okay, is this how I die? So she had the voice in her head like, step aside, silver one. So she thought, is he talking to me? So the same voice repeated, yes, you move. So she limped to the side. So when she limped to the side, Tinen turned and he was trying to run away, but Stain scourged him. He burnt the weary end of Tinen. So when that happened, she saw Zedin and Sigil, like they left, they flew away. Then she was thinking, I thought this guy was actually interested in my life, so he's leaving now that a dragon that can actually end her is in the picture, you know, that kind of thing. So when she faced the dragon, the black dragon, then the dragon said, the enemy at your feet, that's Oren, the one unconscious, are you going to end him? So she said no, like she's not going to attack an unconscious man. So Thane said, but he's going to, if the position were reversed, he's going to kill you. So she said, and that's a question of his own character, but not us. Like, she's not going to harm an unconscious and unarmed person. So Thane said, okay. So he looked at her, then he was like, you are bleeding, stop it. So she was like, well, that is going to happen if you have been run through. And she was like, why am I even arguing? She just cut part of her shirt and she tied her hand, you know, she tied it. After she tied it, she was like, better. He said, yeah, much. Then he said, get on. Then she was like, I'm sorry, huh? Now, when Thane first came, she didn't reach his ankle. Like, the way Thane was big and gigantic, she didn't reach his ankle. So when, now that he said, get on, she was like, have you seen you? Like, have you seen you? So Thane was like, one does not leave a century and not know the space one takes up. Get on. I am not going to repeat it again. So she was like, okay. How's she going to get on? Like, this is not like a tree that she can get handhold. Like, how is she going to get on? So she placed her hand on his leg, but there was no way she was going to get on. So she was just like, how is she going to get on? So Thane just hovered and like made his front leg into a kind of ramp. So he dipped it like this so that she could climb. She could climb. So she was like, okay, thank you. So she climbed the ramp to get on his back. So when she sat, so he said, hold on. That was how he took off. So she was like, wait. They were already flying. So when they got in the air, he banged to the left, that kind of doing some of these maneuvers. But when he banged, she slipped and she was falling off. She was falling off. So he kind of like banged to the left again. That was how she fell off. Like, no. She just fell off. When she fell off, she was like, is this how I die? Like, so before she could plummet to her death, Thane caught her. Then he was like, can you not hold on? Then she was like, she actually didn't think she was going to get to this stage. So Thane said, that makes two of us. So he threw her onto his back again. And he was like, I can barely feel you there. Hold on with your tie. Like, hold on. She said he can't, like, she's weak. Like, she's not like other rider. She's weak. So she's doing the best that she can. So he was like, okay. Then it was like, okay, she just felt that she felt she said, but how could he choose her? Like she's small and then she's weak. Like she thought dragons go for ferocious, strong, and cunning riders. Then Tim was like, yeah, do tell me what I should go for in my rider. I'm like, okay, noted. So Tim told her to hold on, but he told her to hold on. Then he used his. Then she felt his magic like a band hold her in place so that she's not going to fall. So she he was holding her in place. Ten was literally holding her in place with his magic. So he said when she looked to the side, she saw a rider fall off their dragon, but the dragon did not even pick that person up. So she thought, okay, if Ten hadn't picked that, that was going to be her face too. Well, so Ten said, "You are not going to fall." Then it was like they need to put on a show because there's no way they're going to believe he bonded her if they didn't see that kind of show. So he dipped into some maneuvers. He was already using his magic to hold her in place, so there was no risk of her falling off. Like, you are not going to fall. So he did the maneuvers and all that, and then they were going to. He said, "Yeah, that should do." So Ten was like, "That should do." So they were going to land. Then she had to ask him, like, "Why did you choose me?" So he was like, "Because you defended the weak, you defended the small." So she was like, so he said, she's smart and she's the smartest of her year, and she defended the weak and she's cunning. So she was like, okay. So when they came to the field, the landing field, like where all the dragons that have bonded, they come and then they give their names to the role keeper, that kind of record, just keep record. So when they got there, all the dragons there, including the ones that were bonded to riders that were already in the field, including the ones that are just bonded, like all the dragons let out a roar, like they celebrated when Tane came into the flight field. So, and the ones in the middle, they parted for him, like it was just to show like the kind of like big boss that Tane is, and kind of, so they roared and then they parted for him to land. So when he landed, Violet now. So when he landed, he lowered again just to make that ramp so that she gets down. So when he made that when he lowered himself, he kind of like supplicated himself so that she would come down easily. So all the drag, she said she described the noise like chatter, like, wait, are the dragons grumbling? So Ten was like, yes, they are, but it's none of your business. Ignore it. So she slid down Ten with her butt. And Ten was like, well, that is another way to go about it. So when she was on the ground and she saw the golden dragon, it came with them too. So the golden dragon she was now telling the golden dragon that next time somebody tells you to run, you run. So the dragon was not like, what did you say? It was like, at least you helped. Like she was like, did you just talk to him? Like, didn't your elders teach you not to talk to humans that you are not bonded to? Like, don't go getting yourself in trouble. So she just left. So when she came down, the other riders were like, is that? Yeah, she was like, yeah, Ten. Okay, so everybody was surprised, like, Ten. So when she got to the role keeper, her mom was also there. The General Melgren, that General Melgren is her mom's superior. So her mom is there, other leaderships were there too. So when she got to the role keeper, so the role keeper was like, is that? Then her mom was like, don't say it, let her say it. So she just thought, seriously, like, I don't know the name of the dragon that I bonded. She said, So she told the role keeper Tain's name, his full name, Tainenech, descended from blah blah blah. I can't bother myself with it. So Tain, son of yada yada yada, descended from the blah 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 line. So when she said the name, then she just had when she said the name, Tain was not like, pronunciations could use some help. She just thought in his general direction, like, you're not even glad I got it. That kind of thing. So she just had the Golden's voice in her head, like, Andanaro. She was like, huh? So she said, the Golden Dragon said, Andanaro, like, that is her name. Give them her name. So she was like, I'm sorry, what? Tain was like, give them a name. She told you her name. So she said, and Andanorum. That was how the place, everywhere just scattered like Nibo. Like, how? She cannot burn 2 dragons. Like, it's not possible for her to burn 2 dragons. So the leadership were like, they were not in support, that kind of thing. So she went back to Tain when she was already given the name, you know. So she went back to Tain. But before she went back, she met Professor Kayori. So Kayori was not like Sorengyo, like, he's not surprised. Like, he's not surprised. Our siblings have been known to be like that too. So Tain, she was there. So he was like, and you know, the rough field work that she did now. So her hand, he kind of like treated it. Then she saw stupid Jack. He bonded, is it a brown or an orange? Bait. So he bonded that dragon. And then when Jack saw her talking with Professor Kayori, he was like, he doesn't know what she has told him, but whatever she said. Then the professor was like, is there something I should know? Then he said, whatever Violet has said is a lie. Then Violet was like, guy, I didn't even say anything. So the professor said, what happened? He said, she just told him, like, she not worry about it. Like, she not worry about it. Then she told him, like, you ran. That kind of thing, like, you ran. So he left. So when she now went to Tain and Andana, so she was now asking them, like, are they going to let me keep you? Tain said, it's none of their business. Like, they don't have that power. You can't, like, humans don't decide for dragons. So she said, okay. So our friends, Rhiannon, Sauya, and Riddick, they came. They all, they're like, really? Like, she bonded a badass dragon, like the biggest dragon, the most powerful, apart from General Melgrins. Like, is the second. Tain is the second most powerful. So she was asking about some of their squad mates, if they made it out. Then they said no. Then one of them asked about Sinan. Then she said, no, he's not going to come out. And she told them what they did. So Riddick was just pissed. So when the last rider came, the last bonded rider, when they landed, so the General Melgrin's dragon, Kodak, so he was coming. Then all the other dragons were falling into, like, they were falling behind him. He led, and the other dragons were falling. So when they, like, the dragons were arranged, like the new bonded and then the old ones. So when as he was passing each line, the dragons were following, that kind of thing. So when they got to Violet's side, Tain told her, stay with the wing leader. That was what I told her, stay with the wing leader. So him and Andana also followed, and all the dragons left to make a decision whether she can keep the 2 dragons or not. So that was how Dane now came. Like, Violet, they're going to make you choose. They're going to make her choose between Tain and Andana. And when that happens, she should choose Andana because she's smaller and she doesn't look like she can bear a rider, so she's not going to be at a risk. Unlike Tain, that's going to put her through difficult maneuvers and then he's a general among dragons, so he's going to drag her along for every battle that he's in. So just like so that she'll be safer with Andana. So when he said that, that was how Zedin just like pushed him like, get away from her with all that bullshit. Like so he was not like, he now asked her like, okay, he asked her, no, before he came, before Zayden came, Zane was asking her like he should tell her how it happened that she even ended up with the two dragons. So she was telling him that how she saved Andana, how Zayden was also there. Then Zane was not like, you're telling me Zayden was there? She said yes. That means he influenced Threshing. That was how Zayden now came. Like, are you accusing me of influencing Threshing? He said yes, that he was there, which means he influenced it. He was the one that called Tane. So Zeddy was not like, before you accuse me of anything, he's going to remind him that Sigel was also there. Like Sigel was also there. That is Zayden's dragon now. Like Sigel was there and she saw everything. So are you telling me that I influenced Tane in making that decision? So it was just like well, he wanted to help Violet. So he now asked her, Zedin now asked Dane, like, you know Zedin moved to help Violet before Tane came. So Zedin now asked Dane, like, if Dane were to be in that situation, what would you have done? So he said, Violet was like, don't put him in that kind of position, like, don't put him in that kind of spot. So Zedin was like, it is another squad leader. What would you have done? Are you going to watch them kill her? Then he said, Dane was not like, yes, like, the rule is the rule. I cannot break the rule. He said, yeah, he thought as much. So Zedin just left. That was when Dane now said she should pick Andana instead of Tane. Like, she doesn't get it. Tane is like a general, is big, is that kind of nonsense. So she just said, I beg, just free me with this nonsense, I beg. So when the dragons came back, and like she was now asking Thane, like, what is it? What is the decision? Am I going to have to choose? So Thane was like, everything is as she should be. What is as she should be? What is the decision? So the General Melgrin now, he now spoke that according to the Empyrean, the dragons, and when the Empyrean people, they've decided, and the Sorenge girl, and since the humans cannot make decisions for dragons, like it is dragons' decision, so a dragon's decision stand. She can keep the two dragons. That's how she became the first person to born two dragons. See ya next time. Bye.